together. Radiance is a little bit of a different product. So let me just give Radiance a very quick plug before we get into the other three products. Radiance is a vegan collagen booster. When we take our collagen from horse hoofs and we take it from fish skins, okay, that's bovine and marine collagen. It's not very nice when you think about it. Your body has to break all that down into amino acids and then build it up into collagen that your actual body's collagen that makes a difference, that you see a difference. And we said, hey, how about taking a shortcut? Why don't we actually start with amino acids in the perfect balance for your body to make its own collagen? And because we're starting with the amino acids, we can start with vegan amino acids. So this is a very, very effective formula, very clean formula, and it tastes amazing. Dragon fruit lemonade. Okay. So if you want your skin to shine, check out our Radiance product in the Asea Performance line. But
An ingredient that is easy for your body to use.
Mhm.
This is important to get the benefit. Your body has to be able to metabolize the ingredient and use it how it was intended. There are certain ingredients and forms of ingredients that are more bioavailable than others. A quick one that everybody's really familiar with right now is methylcobalamin versus cyanocobalamin, right? Some people struggle with methylation, and so using methylated forms of B vitamins is superior from a bioavailability standpoint because it's easier for those people who have those challenges to use that ingredient. So that's what we mean when we say bioavailability. The next one is smart formulations. And what I mean by smart formulations is that the ingredients must have synergies with each other within the product themselves, but also with other products. So when we choose ingredients for the ASEA Performance Energy product, we'll go through the ingredients here in a little bit and we'll talk about why they work well together. But they also have to play well with the other products within the product line. So mind and energy need to play well together. They need to be able to work synergistically to give you that extra boost. And so when we talk about smart formulas, that's what we mean is synergies within the product line itself, between products, but also ingredient synergies within an individual product as well.
Very cool.
And then, of course, the products have to be clean. The formulas have to be clean. There can be no extra fluff. And that's really what we've done here. We use clinical grade ingredients of the highest purity possible, with no extra fillers, preservatives, colors, or additives. And so if the ingredient does not serve a purpose, or have a benefit, then it is not in the formula. Again, that's to keep these formulas as clean as possible. We live in a world full of additives, preservatives, and added color. We don't need any more in any of our products. And so we go through extensive steps to create the most clean formulas that we possibly can. Yeah, these products are sugar-free. There are no artificial sweeteners. The two sweeteners that are used to really achieve the flavor profile to make them taste great is a naturally derived stevia, from the plant itself. Many people don't know that stevia comes from a plant. It does, and it can be derived naturally or it can be created synthetically. This is the natural derivative of stevia. And then we use monk fruit. And the reason we do that is there are limitations and there are drawbacks to both of them from a flavor profile. So if you use all of one or all of the other, there are distinct tastes to them. And using a combination of the two allows us to reduce the amount that is needed and use as little as possible to make it taste great,
Yeah.
for their clinical level benefit. And so these are amazing formulas that are bioavailable, smart, clean, and ultimately backed by tons of research by researchers around the world. Yeah, I'm really glad that you pointed out the athletic performance aspect of this product. So, energy drinks, they're a dime a dozen. Everybody makes an energy drink. You can go to your gas station and you can find your favorite brand of canned caffeine, right? But what we're looking for in this product is much more than just simply a caffeine boost. There are long-term health benefits to the ingredients in this product. A couple of ingredients here that I want to point out. Peak ATP is very literally an ATP delivery system to your cells. It increases the level of ATP in the cells. ATP is that cellular energy, right? So your cells are very literally being energized by this product. The next one that's great is beetroot extract, right? Nitric oxide is an important signaling molecule for the cardiovascular system. It helps oxygenate the muscles, helps circulation, and improves cardiovascular health. Beta alanine is a really cool ingredient as well. The beta alanine works as a buffer to prevent lactic acid buildup during intense exercise and can increase endurance and performance by fighting off that lactic acid buildup. And so there's some real performance aspects of this as well. Before I go to the gym, I always drink this product because it's not just an energy drink. It really is a full suite functional beverage to enhance performance on the athletic performance side of the house as well. Um, Perhaps my favorite ingredient in this product is the L-theanine. So, Alan, you and I have talked a lot about energy drinks over the last little bit, and you know that I'm pretty sensitive to stimulants. I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine. I already have a lot of energy, and so I generally don't need a whole lot of help, or I get a little anxious. What I love about this product is that it contains L-theanine. L-theanine is used in clinical applications to help patients with anxiety. It helps promote this feeling of um, calm, just a calm, cool, relaxed attitude and mood. And that helps to work synergistically with the stimulants, the guarana and the caffeine within the energy product to prevent those jitters. So those of you that are really sensitive to energy type products, I urge you to give this a try because that L-theanine really helps to balance out that energy feeling. Alan, you referred to it as a smooth energy. I think that's a great way to explain it. And that smooth energy is coming from that L-theanine combo. Absolutely. I'm glad you point out the little bit of a lighter flavor with this product. Everything we did with these formulas are based off of some form of consumer research or consumer behavior. What we found was that cherry as a flavor that worked really well with this formula and the natural flavor of the ingredients tends to be overpowering for a lot of consumers unless it is a more a lighter flavor. And so we intentionally went with a less powerful taste on this product because it is cherry flavored. So that's just kind of the note as to why. Um, Couple of really cool ingredients here. Alpha GPC is a powerful choline compound in the brain. Choline is brain food, right? Your brain does not work without choline. So alpha GPC is very literally helping you feed your brain, which helps with cognitive performance, memory, processing speed. Think about a computer has something called a clock speed. How many calculations per second can a calculator or can the processor in the computer do? Uh, Alpha GPC is boosting your clock speed for your brain. Um, Another one that's really cool is nicotinamide riboside. So many people have heard of NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. Uh, Nicotinamide comes in many forms. And in fact, in some cellular pathways, in order for NMN to enter the cell, it actually has to be converted to nicotinamide riboside first before it can enter the cell. And then it can be converted back to NMN and be used as the nicotinamide base. So there are certain areas where NMN is great, and there are other areas where NR is great, but they're both very effective as precursors to NAD+. So you get all of those NAD+ benefits with a nicotinamide-based molecule like NR. Um, Another really cool ingredient
Hold on,
is
just Hunter, before we move on. So the NAD plus benefits, could you just briefly say what those benefits might be?
yeah, it's an anti-aging compound, right? Your cells function better when they have NAD plus, and it's really wide-reaching in its impact in the body. There's cognitive benefits, obviously, but there's also physical health benefits to NAD plus. It is kind of the uh, king right now as far as anti-aging goes. That's why a lot of people will do like NAD infusions and things like that. It's a really powerful anti-aging compound, and combined in this mind formula, it's cognitive anti-aging as well, right? So making sure that your brain, from a physical standpoint, is resilient to the oxidative stress that it's being exposed to every single day.
Very cool.
So really, really cool ingredient there.
And so for
Um,
so
Go
even
ahead.
right, just suggesting there that long-term use, daily use of this product can really help our brain stay healthy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So kind of points towards that concept we were talking about where these aren't just short-term boost products. They do that great, but there are long-term health benefits to the ingredients within these products.
Very cool.
Um, Another one here, phosphatidylserine. This is a phospholipid that helps to protect brain cells. So this is a longevity ingredient as well, cognitive longevity. Helps to protect, and neuroprotection is super important in order to be able to live with a great health span. Again, it's not just lifespan that we're after. I don't want to just live long years. I want to live good years.
Yeah.
And being able to protect your brain with neuroprotective ingredients is super important. So phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid that does that. Another one here, let me see what else I have. Huperzine A. So
Yeah, I was just
huperzine
looking at
A,
Huperzine A. Tell us, they give them these weird names. Tell us about Huperzine A.
yes. So we're feeding your brain with alpha GPC by boosting choline levels. Choline again is that brain food, but it's very sensitive and it can break down. Huperzine A works to protect choline from breaking down.
Okay.
And so it helps to, so not only are we boosting choline levels in the brain, we're also protecting that choline that we're creating from breaking down so that it can do its job. So there's really kind of two sides to the scale here is cognitive performance and then neuroprotection. And the ingredients work together really well to achieve both sides of that.
Very, very cool. I noticed that at the very bottom there, there's caffeine in this formula as well. Could you talk about the difference between the levels of caffeine in the energy formula, for example, and why it's in the mind formula?
Not everybody's going to want to take 110 milligrams of caffeine, even though it is a smoother energy than anything else that's out there on the market. So Mind gives you a 40 milligram dose of caffeine. What the studies show is that any dose under 50 milligrams is generally felt as mental awareness, an awake sensation, a mental clarity. Anything beyond 50 milligrams is when people begin to feel the body effects of caffeine.
Okay.
And so while energy has the 110 milligrams, the higher level of caffeine, Mind has just a smaller amount to, again, not boost you from the body perspective, but to help you have that short-term boost of clarity. While the other ingredients are also helping to boost that, but also serve purposes on the long-term brain health and cognitive benefits. And what's nice about that is those of you who drink canned caffeine, um, you can combine these two and you're still less than most of the energy drinks, the gas station energy drinks that are out there.
Absolutely. Hey, just I see one more ingredient here, lion's mane, and 30% B glucans. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on that one?
Yeah, so lion's mane is a powerful adaptogen, meaning makes your cells more resilient, right? We talked about at a convention this last week about this resilience to stress, your body's ability to respond to external stressors, and that's how you maintain your health and wellness. Adaptogens help to make you more resilient, help to make your brain cells more resilient. And so that's super important for, again, that longevity, that health span that we're trying to achieve on the cognitive side of things. So let's see. First one that I want to point out is there at the bottom, 5-HTP. 5-HTP works as a precursor to serotonin in the body. Serotonin is, again, one of those happy molecules, right? So this will help to regulate the mood, some of that we talked about on the previous screen, and really promotes restful sleep. In fact, people who are testing the product for us were using kind of sleep trackers, the smart watches, the smart devices. And quite frequently, they would report, hey, when I'm on the product daily, my sleep scores go through the roof. And part of that is due to the 5-HTP. L-tyrosine, this is a precursor to dopamine and norepinephrine, again, more happy molecules. That's kind of a trend with this formula. Again, a lot of precursors to these hormones and these molecules that need to be present in order to regulate mood and to make sure that you are able to maintain positive moods throughout the day. Um, Ashwagandha, we talked about adaptogens in the previous formula with mind. This is an adaptogenic herb. It actually helps to regulate cortisol levels. So not only are we boosting the happy molecules, we're trying to decrease the level of the stress molecule cortisol. Um, and really, that's kind of an idea that I keep going back to of resilience, right? If you have more of the happy molecules and less of the stress molecules, you're going to be more resilient to the stressors throughout the day. Not only the physiological stressors, but the emotional and the mental stressors of our difficult modern lives. And so, really, what we're doing with this formula here is we're trying to help people tap into what's called circadian rhythm. We as humans have a natural tendency to rest and then work and rest and work. And our body recovers most effectively when we're inside of a regular circadian rhythm. These ingredients help you to really plug into that rhythm and recover effectively and really be resilient to any of those external stressors and be able to maintain a positive mood with this formula.
But somebody could drink this in the middle of the day. It's not going to make them sleepy. There's nothing in here to make them sleepy. It's just working with the body's natural circadian rhythms.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not, yeah, it's not about sleep. It's not a sleep aid. It's not going to make you tired. It's again, it's about creating that rhythm. It's about helping your body recover. It's about helping your body be resilient to that emotional, mental stress, and really be able to adapt to what the world throws at you. Yeah, so GABA is an important neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation. So that's what GABA does. And you're absolutely right. There are a lot of formula companies or companies out there making products with formulas that basically sprinkle the ingredient in there so they can make the label claim. Um, what we've done, we point back to those 900,000 studies, right? There are clinical level research on certain amounts of these ingredients to be able to make claims and to be able to substantiate those claims. Every single ingredient in the formulas is present in enough amount to be able to make some sort of a claim based off of clinical research.
Wow.
And so we have not just sprinkled the GABA in there, which is an expensive ingredient, by the way. Um, there's enough in there to be able to make a claim and really see a benefit. And that's the case with all of the ingredients throughout the entire product line.
I'm kind of looking at this Afron and Saffron and what's that about?
It's another mood improving ingredient. So saffron, again, helps you respond to stress. In fact, there are studies that show for perimenopausal women, you can address a lot of the side effects that come from perimenopause, hot flashes, things like that, are all mitigated with powerful saffron ingredient. And the Afron happens to be a branded ingredient with clinical research behind it, specifically on this blend.
Wow. Wow.